On the line, Jason Davis is with us, and we are going to jump right into the first question. If you are elected to a seat on the tribal council, what would your number one priority be and why?
The number one priority for me would be to work with my fellow council members. The need to work with other council members, I think, is paramount when trying to address the community issues or concerns that they may have and what might be most pressing to the community in general. For me, that's the reason why I would do that is because it would be counterproductive to try to insert my own personal objectives rather than working with council to try to input something that may not be the primary need for the community, and understanding that I would be part and parcel of the group, not separate at all. And learning that those needs, I think, would be paramount in addressing those concerns.
The second question, Jason Davis, what qualities do you have that make for a good tribal council member?
Well, one of the primary qualities I have, I think, is for the past decade, I've been working for the tribe and with the corporation and have acted as a conduit for the tribe when dealing with government entities and hosting, not really on a business relationship, but more of a hosting and getting to know and guide some visitors through the corporation. I have a very high business acumen and understanding that government is run as a business, I think is necessary to understand. The sacrifice I've made by living at work for over 7 years, I think highlights the dedication I have, and the sacrifice, particularly during the COVID crisis, is highlights that I think qualifies me.
The third question, Jason Davis, what do you think could be done to better support the youth of the Hualapai tribe?
This one is really, I think, close to me. I worked for over 7 years as a counselor at Sherman Indian High School in Riverside, California, and where we have a lot of family ties, which is why I was born and raised in the Southern California area. And I think getting that input from the youth themselves and having that experience would help me in this arena. I think the arts and culture would be very important to get the youth to understand, and trying to integrate the youth in some way with our elders to pass that knowledge from the elders to the youth, and getting them to understand how valuable they are and how unique we are as a people.
Question number 4, Jason Davis, what could be improved to make the lives of elders in our community better?
One of the things I think we could start with is a new elderly center. I think that could be remodeled, or better yet, build a new one. I think having the elders as a priority would be beneficial not only to the elders, but our community as a whole. I think we could do a better job of keeping our elders employed as they retire, giving them contractual jobs, particularly to help teach the language and try to hold on to that language, because who knows how many generations we have left of language speakers, and being able to get them to share that knowledge. And anytime one of them transitions, we lose a tremendous resource, and being able to maybe even add a new dialysis center or bring one back and get our youth to be able to help work in those.
The fifth question, this is a 2-minute time limit. Jason Davis, what is your understanding of the current status of the Hualapai Tribe Water Rights Settlement Act of 2022?
Well, the fact that it's a Water Settlement Act of 2022 and we're in 2026, I think speaks volumes, and it's typical bureaucratic movement or lack thereof that we have to contend with, and understanding that we need to make inroads with those that have the authority and power to help move our projects along, particularly the Water Settlements Act. It's not been fully funded yet, from what I understand. I'm not fully educated on it or studied in it, but I do have some understanding and knowing that we need to make plans and backup plans, and we need to be critical with how we use our water, how we recycle our water. We've made strides corporate-wide in that arena, and I think we need to understand how to work with government entities and have them understand the need for that water and what the Colorado River is doing and how it's going to change in the future. And it's a finite resource, and we need to make sure that we have what's necessary, not just for this generation, but for the generations to come. Having those inroads with government officials outside of this arena and outside of Peach Springs is crucial, and I think that's where my formal education in globalization, understanding tyrannical governments, understanding corporate governments and how they operate, how to navigate those fields.
The final question, Jason Davis. What do you know about the Hualapai Tribe's master plan, and how do you feel about the progress so far?
The master plan, from what I understand and have seen, is a build-out of current facilities and maybe adding some new ones. I think one of the priorities with the master plan is infrastructure, and it takes us right back to the Water Rights Act of 22. But I think also we need to look at the infrastructure that currently exists in Peach Springs and what is the master plan with that. I think that would be a good place to start. And I'm sure there's some account for that as the build-out begins, but the infrastructure, particularly for water and power, is critical. And I think we can follow the same roads as tribes in Southern California that I've worked with, such as Morongo, that have created their own power companies. Right here in Mojave, they've created their own power company, and you don't have to be in a big city to do that. You can start small and build out and really have that control to not only provide power for our tribal lands, but also the smaller surrounding areas that would also benefit from that. And being able to have that control and get quality service, I think is critical to any master plan. You first have to have the infrastructure, primarily power and water. If that includes solar, then that would be a part of it too. But we really need to think about those infrastructures and the inner workings of a build out as master plans progress. Without that, you could be going to do repairs on water with a brand new building.
Jason Davis, thank you.